The man coming in right now is a beautiful, beautiful man. He's from the UK. He's absolutely amazing. Stand-up individual. I love this guy. You guys are gonna love Wayne.
He's such a fun guy to watch stream too. His stream is so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, I love it. He's got a giant heart. You guys, you're all gonna love him. A lot of you know him. Alice, you know him.
Master Wayne.
There he is.
So we've got Muffin that said, "Tell Gary I love him."
Oh, hello, Muffin. I love you back.
He was there for my charity stream, the last stint. Yeah, I remember that.
I was. It's bedtime. Chorian.
Tell him to mute me and unmute me.
I'm good. No, we're good. I got you.
Hey!
How you doing, you beautiful man?
I can hear him. Ah, says you. There's you.
It is wonderful to see you. Oh, I gotta figure out this fucking heat situation in my room here. It's either 75 degrees or 12. It's uncomfortable to say the least. So how you doing today, Wayne? Did you just start streaming or you been on for a little while?
No, I have come on completely for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate your time. Sir.
Oh, so we're doing like a naughty class, are we?
Oh, this last class that we had chat build for us was special. It was a what did we run here, chat? A Krieg. Actually, we just ran that blueprint, the Samurai's Creed blueprint, and then a Car 98 iron sights.
That's what I have to. That's what I have to run now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Welcome to the shit show.
So where do we want to destroy Arcady? Do we want to destroy it in Plunder, or do we want to destroy it in regular games?
Plunder probably more like faster pace, because every time we get fucking demolished, we can just drop right back in.
Yeah, that's true. How do you feel about that,
I'm looking
Wayne?
forward to this. Oh, listen, whatever you guys want to play. If you told me we were playing in socks only, I'd get naked.
Wow, I'm so happy you brought that up, because we're playing socks only as well.
All right, I'm taking.
Oh wow!
Sweaters off, boys.
10 gifted for Wayne to play socks only. Chat.
Just so you know as well, guys, I'm not wearing any socks.
Perfect. Perfect.
I think I seen in your chat Danielle is busy right now.
Stuffing her face with McDonald's. Let's not make it out like she's doing the ironing or something.
You made it sound so beautiful.
This is gonna be fucking
so we've lost Chorian already.
Oh fuck, this is gonna be fun.
I'm so happy to be playing with you again, Wayne.
Yes.
I've missed you.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's been a while.
So Rudy just asked what kind of show I'm running here today. So Rudy, today we got a bunch of different streamers, creators coming on, and we're kind of just going over just kind of focusing on men's mental health. Just something that's kind of overlooked. Like nobody's allowed to talk about anything. There's that stigma around it, and we're kind of just opening up, and maybe there's someone out there that might see that they can talk about shit to people. It's okay too, and yeah, maybe today we can help someone, and that's the goal. That is the goal. And if we can help one person, I'll consider myself a successful streamer.
Yes, sir. That's what the
I don't know where it's hard disabled too, because Yeah, sound alerts are disabled too for everyone just popping in. I don't want someone to be
The reason for
heartfelt.
that is because chat is full of fucking degenerates. We
It's
love you
true.
all, but you're all degenerates.
Yeah, even the people. I know you are, Rudy. Stuff.
Dan, no, he said not that shit off. I think he's on about the McDonald's. I
Secure
think he's
cash
saying
by
you've had enough.
completing contracts,
Bit rude,
looting,
but
or eliminating targets.
honest. I like the honesty.
Should we go play some football?
Oh, I'd love to go. Some soccer.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Soccer? You guys want to play soccer? Oh my god. FA with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much.
Okay, popping off. Chat's going up today.
They are.
Knifed again, Gary.
I die in prison. I've got no frames. Oh, this probably would help.
Head down.
There we go.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
Straight goated, Hefe. Straight goated. I love you, Hefe. You're almost as beautiful as MasterWayne.
Nearly.
Just not quite as girthy.
I find
Enemy
the
soldier
best
incoming.
part of me is from the back of the knee down just above the ankle, and unfortunately it's really hard to get that part of me on stream.
Got any munitions here, Gary? Dropping it because there's another one like right behind it.
Once again, I appreciate everybody coming out and
Hostile
supporting this,
dropping
chatting
into
with
the
us.
area. Watch the skies.
It's important. It's important to a lot of us right now, and always. But
I've been in a hell of a funk lately myself. Master Wayne, I don't even know who you're shooting at.
oh, I keep getting pooped on from up in the expensive seats.
Yeah. Bro, Gonzo. His homie just lit me up. It's alright.
Wayne, you beautiful man. What are you doing?
Just trying to attack as many people as I can.
Let's detach his head from his shoulders.
Be advised. There's an enemy team hunting you.
I don't really know.
Do we not hit him? We had to run up and melee him.
Let's go kill this gentleman in front of us here. Oh, it's our bounty. Let's do that.
Hey guys, what's the best way to make yourself realize you're not the only one in life going through a hard time? Any advice on it?
Tell somebody. That's the, that's the only way.
Just what you just did there.
That's it.
That's it, Scholar. I would say, man, I would say that's the biggest thing. Step one is just saying, hey, I'm not having a good time right now. And you know what? There was recently, actually, there was something going on in my life, and
Hostile dropping into
Chorian
Watch the
noticed
skies.
it in the way I was just, I messaged
Target is
him,
down. Well
and
done.
it was a couple seconds later I got a phone call.
Allied cluster down.
Nobody's coming to
Hostile
rescue
dropping into
us.
the area. Watch-
So,
I'm coming to rescue Wayne. Sorry, Wayne.
No, I'm sorry, I let you down.
I was deep inside you as long as I
I just fucking team wiped that guy with that precision airstrike.
could. That's a great question, though, Scholar. I mean, that's where it all starts, in my opinion. Like I said, it was just the other day that Chorian, they just knew something didn't sound right, and he called, and then I mean we sat there and we chatted for a couple hours. That's just all it takes.
And it's incumbent upon us to do that. Like, because nobody's gonna run up to you and drag you into a fucking therapy session, right? But that's what's good. That's what sometimes we need is we need somebody to like in essence come and save us, because sometimes what's going on, I know lately what's going on for me is too much. I don't even know exactly what it is. All I know is that it's a little bit too much for me. And
Go behind you.
had I not like said that right now, like you guys probably wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So in that same breath, how can we expect anybody to come and take care of it for us? So we have to ask somebody for help. And it might be as simple as just this. Like, dude, I need to play some Call of Duty. Right? That's how my son says it to me. He says, Daddy, I need to play. Kids don't know how to say, hey, like I need help. I need some love. I need somebody to fill my cup. Nobody, kids don't know how to say that. I don't even know how the fuck to say that. I'm 30 years old. We have to learn how to say it. We have to learn how to ask. We have to learn how to tell people that we're not okay.
I'm taking fire!
It doesn't surprise me that question comes from a man, because, you know, we're supposed to be this all-powerful, all-puff breed, right? We're not supposed to be able to ask for help. But that's not right. That's not right. You need to be able to, and you need to know that makes you stronger, actually putting yourself out there.
I agree, Laura. Everything is infectious, or not everything. Many attitudes are infectious. Negative attitudes are infectious. Positive attitudes are infectious. You know, somebody walks into a room and they're smiling, beaming, full of energy, really, really high energy, positive energy coming out of them. That affects everybody around them. That just brings up the feeling in the room. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing with the energy of self-healing, I guess, is the way to frame what I'm trying to say. When people start taking care of themselves and doing the right things for themselves, the people around them notice that, and the people around them start reflecting or building on that and taking that in and using it as their own.
I'm hit! Go.
Curious if anybody else has latency that's in at 580.
No. It does take a lot to recognize that you're not okay. It takes even more to do something about it.
Head down.
There's a whole team there still.
Alright, just threw a thermite over there.
Thank you for the follow, Obey.
Just going on what you guys said there, I think the biggest thing
good copy.
is as soon as you start feeling that, is knowing that being okay or feeling okay, that's valid. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that. It's recognising that and knowing that if you're feeling that and you're on your own and you're not opening up, it can be a really dark place. So as you guys were saying, is talk about it, reach out to someone, or tell someone that's close to you that you trust that you're feeling like that. Because being alone feeling those feelings is horrendous.
Oh,
it is.
I couldn't agree more.
It is. It's the worst feeling in the world, is feeling like you're not good enough and that you're not even good enough to deserve help.
Yes.
Because that's what it is. That's what stops us from asking for help, is we don't feel like we deserve it. Like and that's in my opinion. It's less of, for me at least, it's less of a scared thing. I'm not scared to tell people that I'm not okay, or I need help, or I'm on the fucking brink. Like, it's just I genuinely convince myself that I'm not worth it. Which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like,
2-0. Good copy.
Being vulnerable is the biggest challenge. Absolutely, Danielle. It's once you can, like the old me, I promise you.
I'm back, boys.
When I wasn't feeling right the other day, and it wasn't even like a huge, like upsetty spaghetti, you know. I just wasn't me. I just wasn't me. Chorian picked up on that, and he called the old me. I wouldn't answer. I'd been like, nah, he's gonna want to talk about this and that. I'm not for it. But I'm a dad. I can't let my mental health slip away at all. I've got somebody to look after, and I want them to look up to me and what I do, and that's so important.
That's like a parallel conversation. Gary! That was unreal. But that's a parallel conversation because as fathers and as leaders in our community, like many of us are and want to be and strive to be, as that person, it is absolutely necessary that we take care of our shit, because the reason why we don't know how to take care of our shit and that we don't take care of it is because our parents and our dads didn't have the tools themselves, so they couldn't give them to us. That's why we're in this crisis right now. We're going on thousands of years of teaching our young men the wrong fucking thing and to look at this in the complete wrong way. So we have to fix this stuff in ourselves, because we have to be able to fix this stuff or teach our sons how to fix this stuff in themselves and how to notice this stuff in themselves.
Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, shoot.
Solo, you're right. You're right. Back out for a sec, Gary.
Yeah, let me hit this. Scholar, that's my thing, is with my kids, it feels hard because it's like, how am I supposed to raise this kid when I don't even feel proper myself? Just, you gotta start that. I mean, if you don't feel right, your first step right there is recognizing that and talking, and you're talking to us. The next step is to go talk to a professional on it. And I mean, that's Chorian's, I think Chorian's the expert there on that.
Not much of an expert on anything really, other than I'm very vocal about my lived experience. And when it comes to professional help and professional guidance, everybody can hear me, right? I don't have my shit muted here like an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay. When we break a leg or we break an arm, we go see a doctor. When you mess up your back, you go see a massage therapist or a chiropractor maybe. When your feet are all messed up, you go and see a reflexologist, right? When you're not doing very good in school or at work, you go.
I think that. Oh, so did you hear Wayne's question there?
No, I didn't. Fuck, I'm an idiot and have all my shit all muted after that fucking gong show and plunder.
Okay. So Wayne had a question in his chat. It was about, hang on, chat. We're gonna get to you here. Wayne's chat brought up the fact, like, what about the fact, you're a man, you got the family, you're supposed to be this big tough guy. How can you ask for help and not show weakness? And I don't think that is like the basis of this, that's what we want to curb, that to show you guys that it is okay to not be okay, and it is okay to ask for help, and it is okay to talk to someone. I've talked to Wayne, he's had bad days. Chorian's talked to me when I've had bad days. Like this, it's just, it has to happen like that, and we have to normalize being able to talk about this. That's the issue. Yeah, exactly. It's huge.
The issue there is in just the question itself is the issue, right? Because chat, can we hear me now?
No, I don't think Wayne and you can hear each other.
Yeah, I don't know why. I got everything unmuted here. Nobody's muted. Audio.
Do you have a full mute on your audio settings? Like, do you have a push to talk button?
I can hear him now.
There we go. Now I got it. Now I got it. There we go.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Wait,
so
can you hear
Glendy?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So Bill's wife has come in and said, I think what he's trying to say is that there's often a stigma surrounding men and their mental health,
Yes.
which I completely agree with. And Bill said, opening up and bawling your eyes out to someone's idea. That I think that was obviously, Bill. You're coming from the military. I think that's installed in you that you don't do that. And that's not an acceptable way to deal with your emotions. But I think nowadays it is, and especially and I'm not trying to alienate women in any way whatsoever, but just for some stats for men alone, is here in the UK, 84 men a week take their own life. 75% of all suicides in the UK are male. Men are less likely to get help. Speaking out does save lives.
It does.
And there's some scary stats.
And like the results
I mean,
of those statistics, like the manifestations of those
Chorian,
statistics,
no,
is more men commit suicide than anybody else. They do it younger and older than anybody, like than women. And once again, not trying to alienate women at all. I'm just saying that that men have this silent struggle that has been suppressed to talk about, like they're saying, grow up and be a man about it, and in its essence, I think there's goodness in that saying, but it's been perceived wrong, and us as young men have manifested that throughout our lives improperly. And I hate the word toxic masculinity. I absolutely fucking despise it, but I haven't found something else to replace it with yet. That it comes from something, and it's not this masculine energy that men have. That's not what it is. That's not what creates this like hyper aggressive and hyper competitive kind of psyche in a lot of men. That's an addiction, just like anything else that stems from trauma of some kind, or of some kind of unresolved issue that we're told that doesn't matter. And the adage of be a man, like that adage of be a man, it's the exact same thing, right? Like it's yeah.
There we go.
It's been a long time coming that I've been able to get to this point for myself, to be able to even say this about myself, because the only way I'm saying any of this is because this is my experience. This is what my life has looked like. I've never been taught how to talk to anybody about what it means to be sad or depressed, or feel like I'm not good enough, or feel like I'm not a good dad, or not a good husband, or not a good son, or not a good employee. The only tool that I was ever given was work hard, right? Just work hard. So that's what I did.
Dip up a lip, keep going.
Yeah. Right. And you know what? Sometimes in some scenarios, that is like the walk it off thing. That is the right thing to do. Just head down, push through it, and go. But you can't do that with some stuff that some of us have been carrying our whole lives. Like I have stuff that I haven't let myself come to terms with from when I was 12 years old. I've been carrying that for 22 fucking years. I've been beating myself with it, flatulating myself with it for decades. And it's not because I want to punish myself with it. It's because I feel like I have felt, and it's changing now, that that's the way that it was. And now I refuse to believe that. I refuse to accept that. It's not okay. Because it is okay to not be okay. It's okay for us to cry. It's okay for us to need help. If we need to fucking take a day off work and not be that guy who's just pushing through, that's fucking fine. I do it. I've learned to do that. And man, I tell you, once you can get to the point where you allow yourself to love yourself enough to give yourself a fucking break, because nobody else is going to give us a break. Nobody else is going to.
Yep. No, you're right.
And unfortunately, if you've been, like as you just said there, you've been carrying some issues since you were a lot younger. I think you become very good at hiding those. And it's only those people that are close to you, or real, obviously between yourselves, where you've obviously noticed a change in Gary and that something wasn't quite right. They're very minute signs people give off, because we've become so good at hiding it and trying to give the stiff upper lip, and everything will be all right. Just suck it up. You shouldn't be feeling that. You're allowed to carry on. You're the tough guy. You're the protector. It's
it
because
gets
we've done it
rewarded.
for so long.
That kind of behavior gets rewarded by society, right? So just like a dog, if whatever behavior we're expositing out there gets rewarded, we're going to do more of it, right?
Yeah,
we're going to teach our sons how to do it, because hey, you know what? Society has rewarded me for feeling like this and acting like this and talking like this. So this is how you got to do it.
Yeah, I fully agree.
This is one of those things that, I mean, I love the fact that we have, however many people here, 10, 15, I don't know how many it is. I don't care how many people are here listening to us and engaging in this conversation right now. Like, it just goes to show that, like, this isn't, the world is locked down and focused on this major, thing right now and whatever. That's not what we're talking about. There is so many parallel pandemics afflicting society right now, and the one that I want to talk about and bang the gong is about is exactly what we're talking about right now. This is a fucking pandemic. This is a crisis among men. Our young men are killing themselves in fucking droves, and we can fix it. Like, we can get better. We can do better. We can do better by our sons. We can do better by our brothers and our friends. All we have to do is we just have to talk like this, ad nauseum. This conversation can never stop. This has to keep happening all the time. It's not right for young men to not know that this kind of feeling, albeit different, forlorn, maybe scary, is okay. It's okay to feel vulnerable. That's where you grow. Like, and we need to change the way the conversation is had. When a young man asks for help or shows signs of needing help, then the community needs to rally around that.
Answer. Absolutely.
Right now. Right fucking now.
So we got a lot going on in chat here. Do you mind if we touch on that and then we can get into another plundy?
Hey, listen, I'm quite happy standing here talking as we are, man.
Perfect. Well, I'm just gonna start reading these off. Just what the chat is, and I mean we can touch on them as we go. They might not be a question, but I'm just gonna. People are putting in the time to write these messages, so I feel like we should be bringing them up. So
yeah, of course,
that was the game and me sucking and someone calling me out on it. Thank you. So I think it's huge. It's a huge issue, at least for me, is when people don't understand your version of asking for help. Because I can flat out tell you something like, me literally would have to tell my family I want to die before they think I'm not okay. Actually, let's hold on to that one until he gets back. He just stepped away for a minute. When he gets back, we're going to answer that. I got that one in a DM right now too. So you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. It's like putting a mask on yourself before someone else is on a crashing plane. Take care of.
Beautiful sentiment, that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, crashing plane in the oil field where Chorian and I have worked, and a lot of people in the chat have worked. You save yourself first, because you are useless to anybody if you can't save yourself. There are those girls that think men have no feelings. It just makes us men angry. Like, we usually don't show, otherwise we will be so vulnerable and we could be dead mentally.
Mm-hmm. And that's that I just want to quickly say something. So there's an entire like subset of the population of 40 to 60-year-old men that don't have families, that don't have the positive and healthy network of people around them to help them and build them up. And those are the guys that drink themselves to death, work themselves to death. These are the guys that Kelsey and I, or Gary and I, have worked alongside for years. I'm sure many other people have too. But that's, once again, that's what the real world manifestation of what was just said there, that's what that looks like. It looks like a 55-year-old guy who has nothing to live for, and he lives in a trailer in a yard, like at his shop. He spent an entire life of thinking that he's not, being told that he's not good enough because of the way he is.
Laura says, as a female, I want a man to have feelings. So frustrating when you're trying to communicate and there's nothing, because men don't think they are allowed to be forward with their emotions. Yeah, I agree. It's silly.
Well, what's the answer to that message you've just read out from Laura is, no, I'm all right. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much universal. Doesn't matter what country you come from. Mm-hmm. The answer to that, when 90% of the time when a woman asks you, is everything all right? Are you okay and stuff? 90% of us, and 99% of the time probably, the answer is, I'm all right.
Just tired.
And that's usually a sign that there's definitely, I'm tired. I'm just a bit shattered. Work's just been busy. When you dismiss those valid reasons, that you're exactly as she's saying about my relationship with my partner is, I never really talked before, never really found myself comfortable speaking before, but my partner has allowed me to open up, and now I can talk to her about stuff. I have my own way of dealing with it, but I think support and finding those people that are going to support you in a way that benefits you both, and like being able to be open and honest about yourself, can't put a price on that. It allows you to live, and I don't think that I've lived until I got with my current partner.
Yeah. No, it's I know I've been there, and I know it's ended my relationships in the past to just beat down, and all you put out is, you're absolutely right, Wayne. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm tired. I'm just gonna go to bed. And that doesn't help you. That doesn't help your partner, because who knows what's going through your partner's head now. And now you're not only you're draining yourself, you're draining them. Your health, your mental health needs to be in tip-top shape. Mm-hmm. And when I say it needs to be there, I don't mean suck it up and be strong. I mean you need to get it fixed.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, and you can't shortcut that. There's no shortcutting it. If you don't have friends that will listen when you go, hey, you got a minute?
And you don't have friends.
You don't need them. You need to surround yourself with the people that will understand you when you need to be understood the most.
I actually shared a quick little thing in one of our TikTok, or in one of our group chats there today. I can't remember which one it was, but there's this old black and white video of a guy kind of going off a little bit, this older fella, and he says, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So I thought about that, and when I was at my lowest of lows, I was surrounding myself with people who were doing nothing to make themselves better, and they were just doing the exact same thing I was, whipping themselves with their own trauma day after day after day after day, rather than taking responsibility for it. Even though our trauma isn't our fault, but it is our responsibility. Yep. My chat just said something I wanted to really quickly say. That's a great point. Saying this is a huge issue, the feeling that I will never live up to the standards that I'm expected to be. So I went back to school and I'm changing careers. I've been suffering from depression, anxiety for years, and most days are harder than I would like them to be. But I'm working towards being the best me now, and not the best me that I'm expected to be. And I think that's an incredibly empowering thing for somebody to be able to say about themselves, and should be very proud of being able to say that.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
To add on to that,
sorry, I've had a message pop up in mine, and I've had a couple of people just put some messages that I think I deserve to read out for them because they've obviously laid down some stiffs here. So we've got Runaway Jim. Mental health is huge. I had my own battle with mental problems these past couple of years. I had some back surgery and it really took a toll on me mentally, being at home and not going out for a year prior to the lockdown. For me, streaming and meeting positive people allowed for the heavy heart to have fresh life again. Not easy to focus on what's good when everything else seems to be bad, but for me personally, focusing on what's good in my life was a huge turnaround for me mentally. Sorry for the paragraph. No, don't ever have to say sorry there, Runway Jim. I appreciate you putting your face out there, mate. That's I can tell that obviously if you've had that issue before lockdown and then get locked down as well, that must have been a horrendous start time for you. So I appreciate you sharing that, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got one more from Stu quickly. I can honestly say that I was one of those men. I bottled everything and I never spoke to anyone. I just kept it to myself. Once my dad fell ill, I met an emotional well-being officer via work and he's changed my life. And I'm now more open than I ever have been. I still have my issues. Talking to some people, but it's all a work in progress. Having chats like this will make a difference. And if it helps at least one person, then it's 100% worth it. I applaud you all.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I said it at the start and I'll say it again. If we help one person today, even reach out to us and give us the opportunity to say, go talk to a professional now, I'll consider myself a successful streamer. That's it. A successful peer, a successful mentor, whatever you want to call it. I'll consider myself that if we can help one person today.
That's what the Essential Gentleman has by happenstance. It wasn't planned this way, but that's what this has turned into now. This has turned into like a mini movement of sorts, moving alongside, Wayne in your community. Fuck Wayne, your community is beautiful, man. I just absolutely love your community, supportive, so welcoming and warm and friendly. They're a reflection of you, right? And that's what I mean. Like, look at your friends and I'll show you your future. Well, man, I look at your friends, Wayne, and I see just the most beautiful future ever. And that's what all of these little tiny communities that have sprung up through this fuck show of a year that we've had. I mean, this has gotten me through it 100%, and this is beautiful that it's come this way. And I'm just so it's a light, exciting, happy feeling. And I'm on cloud 9 right now, seeing all these people in chat, talking, hearing you guys talking, man. I'm elated. I'm on cloud 9. Yeah. This is amazing.
Honestly though, even with the out of the gate, we get Wayne first beautiful person of this night. I look at the people reaching out in his chat that I don't know I've seen reach out the way they have. I'm looking at the people in our chat reaching out the way that I don't think I've ever seen them publicly reach out. Mater's brother in the chat right now, too. Like I'm feeling successful at this already. That people are opening up and talking about this, and that's great. So to add to the friend thing though, Mater said, and Chorian, you answered there. Where do you turn if you don't have friends like that though, or people that just take it sarcastically? That's what I'm saying, man. You surround yourself with people that you can trust and don't take it sarcastically. There is always someone who will spend that time to listen to you. So even when you think you don't have friends, you'd be amazed at what a single message to one person could open up for you. Yep. I say it to Wayne. I've sent Wayne messages. If you need anything, you ever need to talk,
you did.
Reach out.
You did. You sent me a message on a very, very dark day, and it was a simple, beautiful, private message. It's between me and him. There was nothing more in it than him telling me how I was loved and that he hoped everything was okay. And at that moment, that saved my day. And it meant the world. It absolutely meant the world. It changed my whole mood. But very emotional on it. It was and that's all it took was Gary reaching out and sending that message. So you're never alone, and you know Gary's on the exact opposite side of the world to me, and managed to influence my day.
Yeah, and that's it's all it takes, man. And Mater, and anybody else, we're like the gentlemen. We're always here. We're always here to chat. The DMs are open. Slide in, say hello, and even if you can't just say, "Hey guys, I'm not feeling too good," just pop in and hit us with a code word, pineapple. Hit us with something and say, "You guys want to? Do you mind running a few with me?"
Well, there is a code word. There is a code word though, and Scholar mentioned it, and you mentioned it earlier, Gary. And the code word is "I'm all right."
Yep.
Because you're not. Yep. I fucking like just like that video that you sent me, Gary. Like when a guy says that, he's not. He's not all right. So you need to respond. The response needs to be, okay, no, like I want you to think about that for a second and be honest with me. And it's not because I'm going to be here to fix it. Like I don't have the fucking tools. I can't even fix myself. I'm just as fucked as the next guy. Yep. But if you can talk about it, if you can figure out the fact that no, you aren't actually okay, brother, and that's fucking fine. That's okay. It's okay to not be okay. Like, it's unrealistic for you to be okay. Look at what's going on around us. Like, look at where we've gotten ourselves as a society. This is fucked. Like, all of it is. Everything is. It's all fucked. Yeah, how can we be okay?
Especially if you've got something that you're feeling, whether it's a self-worth issue, whether it's an addiction or whatever it is, and you're feeling that that's bringing you to a point of no return, of where you're considering removing yourself from this world, whether it's self-harming, whether it's hurting people around you and stuff like that, and you're alone in those thoughts, then they will do nothing but fester and eat you up. And it's amazing because you have that conversation with someone else and say, hey, struggling a little bit with this and stuff, and going through this, somebody else actually sitting there saying, that's not crazy. Mm-hmm. No, you're not crazy for feeling that. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. You can fix this. Anything you do in life can be repaired, changed, fixed. There's nothing that's irreparable. Absolutely nothing. So realizing there's something wrong, opening up, speaking to somebody else about it, just opens up more avenues for you to be able to heal and fix whatever it is that you're dealing with. So the biggest part is you're never ever alone. Even at your darkest moments, you're never alone, and all it takes is for you to reach your hand out to someone. Trust me, there are people in this world that you don't even have to know that will open their hand out and take you in.
And that's more true than I think we give credit to, because what ends up happening is we all bottle this up, we suppress it in alcohol, drugs, porn, you name it, and then we end up going to pay a therapist $250 an hour to look at us and listen to us pour our hearts out, and at the end say, yep. Now, what I want you to do is I want you, next time you think about that, rather than thinking about it in a negative way, I want you to think, or I want you, rather than thinking about it however way you're thinking about it, I'd rather you think, is this me? Is this what I'm feeling and thinking right now? Is this me? Or is this somebody else? Or is this something else? Am I carrying somebody else's thoughts of me or opinions of me right now, or am I carrying my perception of somebody else's thoughts and opinions of me with me right now? That's not me. And that's what one of the things you take away from a therapist. We can all save each other $250 an hour. Fuck, I'll say that to you all goddamn day.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to keep caught up on chat here. Steven says, but I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read another response to you, Chorian, that he had, and I mean this is what we're trying to hit on here. But being a hard past 5 years, being away from home. So just so you know, I believe he's in Germany right now, working, and has been for the last 5 years. Being away from home, and the only thing that has kept me going is my friends that have been there for 15 plus years. I think most thoughts that run through our heads, including mine, is the question of what is the actual point of life or living. Definitely need someone to talk to that you trust. You need that support behind you. And I mean, Your brother is a huge support. Like he supported me. He's listened to me. I've had shit to talk about to him. He's great. But then I also want you to know though, Stephen, that we are all here for you. If you ever need, shoot us a message. But
That's what this is. This is a group for all of us, a community for all of us.
So you responded to him in the chat saying basically that, Chorian. He said, really appreciate it. I just don't want it to sound like I'm whining to people. Stephen, that's what this is. We want to get rid of that. That's gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
That it's considered whining.
Yeah.
It's not.
Stop
It's
saying
not
that.
at all. Yeah,
You
it's
have to
not
stop
whining.
using that word. Take that word out of your vocabulary for 6 months.
Whining to me is sitting in the back of a car going, "Oh my God, are we still not there yet?"
I want my Mackies.
Talking, yeah, I've had my Mackies. But talking about something that's important to you that's not whining. It's opening up, and once you change your mentality from I'm not moaning, I'm not whinging, I'm not being negative. That once that mentality changes, you'll be amazed at how free that opens you up to being able to say, hey, do you know what, today's a shit day for me, and this is why it's shit, and this is what I'm dealing with, and disassociate that from being a whinge, because it isn't.
Yeah. Can I say something that may hit home for a lot of people? I know I'm not a male, but I have a best friend I've saved more times than I have fingers and toes. He's the most amazing person, and he saved me too. Just like me, we are the only real life friends we have. Our families abandoned us as kids. We've been all we've had for 11 years, but he has taught me that love should be everywhere, and I will always be there, even for a stranger. Don't ever turn someone away when you can see they aren't okay. I agree.
Yeah, it's incumbent upon society to we can't defer the responsibility of making sure everybody's okay to mental health professionals.
Yeah.
No.
You're right. Just because you don't know them doesn't mean they don't need you. That's exactly right. I mean, whether you hold that the way you carry yourself, just by the way you carry yourself, or religion, I mean, Christianity, you don't turn people away that need help, no matter what. It is with heavy hearts that we begrudgingly soldier on every day, heavy with doubt, heavy with pain and fear. What we as people need is a cleansing as a society, a soul cleansing. We steeped ourselves for too long the bitters of toxicity. When all else fails, the kindness of your pride, the people around you, is what you can and will deliver us from darkness. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's who you surround yourself with, and it's what you bring to the world, what you give back, right? I mean, it all helps. Yeah, we focus too long on being rough and tough and strong and buff and
I
that's
think
just that's not the answer.
And I think there's an important distinction to be made that sometimes it is required for us to be rough and tough and lean on that masculine energy that we have to in times of need, right? Like we also need to make sure that everybody knows sometimes this masculine energy that we have in us is it's a fixing kind of it's a make things better kind of an energy, right? And just because we need to be soft and tender and gentle sometimes, we do need to be strong and hard and stoic sometimes. And that's where this gets even more complex, is how do we tell the two? How do we tell when to be what? Like, when do we know is the right time to be soft and kind and gentle, or to be stern and hard and firm? And I just figured I'd throw another another angle to make this even more a more fun conversation to have.
I've got one, a message here from Supernova Plays. I think it's old school. I think it's an old school mentality to bottle up and not speak about mental health. That needs to stop. To know the support out there is amazing. I bottle up a lot, but now knowing that there's no stigma and talking about my own mental health is amazing. Which is obviously exactly what we're saying here, is that there should be no stigma, but there is. But that's what we're trying to change. And if got any influence in any way in life to be able to change that stigma, that's obviously what we're trying to achieve here. And while Bill's put, the biggest problem I find through the emotional problems is that crying solves nothing. A man is someone that sees the current problem and solves it. If tears are shed or blood is spilled, that's fine during the problem. At the end, the job is done. A child cries. I think, Bill, obviously we touched on, we did an interview stream with myself and you, and obviously your upbringing was obviously very different to mine, and your family being obviously military, and your military upbringing and stuff makes you view stuff differently. But I do know that with your own son now, you and your wife are giving him the best of both worlds, where you are, the strong independent dad who lets him live his own life, but also letting that child open up to you about your problems. So you've obviously learned from your childhood how you can improve that with how amazing you're doing with little Bill.
And that's something that we need to make sure. I'm glad that you said that, Wayne, and responded that way, because that's another thing that we need to focus on as men, and not just men. Like, I don't want to exclude like Katie or any of the other amazing women that are in our community as well, but I think women do a better job of this than men do amongst their friend groups and their social groups. But when you see a dad being a good dad, or you see a husband being a good husband, or you see a husband or a man being a good man, you don't call a guy a fucking faggot, right? Like there's no,
that word needs to go.
Like that's like, we can't demean the kind of activities we need in society. We need men to be good men and good dads. We need men to want to be dads. We need to reward dads for being good dads and say, no, I'm sorry, like I'm not gonna come have beers tonight. I'm gonna hang out with my kid tonight. That friend group, if that friend group doesn't respond with, yeah, okay, man, cool, awesome, catch you on the next one, then you need to find a new friend group.
Yep, 100%.
I'm convinced of that.
I think just quickly on that as well, and this is obviously where we were talking about stigmas and how it's viewed, is myself and Gary will be very similar on this. We've both got beautiful little daughters, and if our daughters get up, got something talking in my ear, 1 second. So with myself and Gary, we've both got two beautiful little daughters, and you also know that some days you can wake up and be in a funk and it not be good. And if your little daughter comes up to you and says, I don't feel great, I don't feel myself, or I'm feeling crap, it's okay to put your arm around them. If they fall over in the park, it's okay to pick your little girl up and make her feel better. But if you do that to as a dad, if you do that to a boy, it's seen as, off, dust it off. Come on, get up, you'll be all right. Run along, or what you being miserable for? Go upstairs, play computer and stuff like that. And that's a stigma on its own. Is that if we can support and nurture a female and understand that they're in a low point at that moment, then we should also view it exactly the same, no matter the sex.
Yep.
So I think from a young kid's age, we can already change that and start to change how our kids view that.
I agree 100%. Yep.
I want to ask you a question, Chorian, that was asked in a DM.
Hey.
It seems harder for people who reach out like this person, and no one understands them enough to believe them when they ask for help. How would you deal with that?
So I guess, like, let me just make sure that I understand this right. The person who DM'd you is saying that they're reaching out for help, and with the people that they're reaching out to aren't validating whatever the person who DM'd you is saying is a concern.
Yeah.
Then you need to talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
You need to, and if I don't know the situation. I don't know anything other than anything at all. Whoever that person is, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. My opinion of what your issue is doesn't mean that your issue is or isn't an issue. Externalities don't affect what's going on in your world in that particular way. That person obviously isn't the right person to be talking to. And I'm sorry to hear that. And I hope it's not more than one person, but you're not talking to the right person. It doesn't matter what the fucking issue is. It might be because you don't like to shape your toenails. It doesn't matter. You deserve to be able to talk about that.
Yep.
DM me.
Yep.
DM me.
It can be fixed as well. It can be fixed as well with, you know, we've got a message that's popped up in ours saying, and when you can't force yourself to reach out, not even to one person, it doesn't have to be. I don't think you have to reach out in a way where you say, oh, you know, this is how I'm feeling and stuff like that. It can be simple, especially on the platform that we're speaking on right at this moment. It can be a case of, hey, do you want to run some games tomorrow? Just me and you. And that there can be a sign. That there can be something that you can work with and spend time with them. So even if you've got a circle of, you know, just touching on what Chorian said there, if you've got a circle of friends around you that aren't as supportive as they should be, one, you need to change that. But first and foremost, find someone that is supportive and that you can lean on, and that can be in any shape or form. There's tech services that you can speak to people that you'll never meet. There are online forums about films you can go and start speaking to people. There's gaming, there's streaming, there's supporting, there's Discords. You know, there's so many different avenues that maybe you're not aware of at that time at being in such a low point, but you've got those people around you. You're starting on the wrong foot. Change that first.
Matt, when you say, what do you do when no one around you even realizes that you spent 3 days without leaving your bed, or doesn't think that's weird? Well, it's not. So, I mean, that's the reason why we have antidepressants, is because that's so common that we need help to make that not a thing. If that's the case, Matt, you need to talk to your doctor. If you can't leave the bed for 3 days, man, I feel I'm heartbroken for you. And the reason why they're not realizing, man, is because what's happening to you, you force yourself away from everybody. Almost guarantee it. Like, let yourself be loved again. Talk to your doctor as step one. And then let yourself share some time with somebody.
And it's like I told someone just the other day, baby steps are still steps.
Okay, so Matt, you've done that. You've talked to your doctor, and if your doctor hasn't done much, I don't know where you live in. If you live in the States, going to talk to another doctor might be difficult.
States, yeah.
But there's mental health help that you can find in the States for free in some fashion or another. We got to bang on this drum for Maddie. We got to make sure that well, now you're fucked, Matt. We all know that sometimes if you're gone for a couple of days, we know that we're going to come and track you down. Yeah. I'm in the exact same. Okay. Yeah. Same boat. What's up? Do you walk? What's your physical activity like? Make sure you keep your physical activity up. That's happy hormones. Happy hormones come when you're moving your body around. That's important to do. And you have to champion that, brother. You have to champion that.
Yep.
Yeah, even I, yeah.
Me too, running away from fucking everybody.
It's yeah, you gotta get out and do something every day. Get outside, breathe the fresh air. I mean, I went through it and I started to go down into that dark room. I work in front of these screens now, and I stopped going to the gym.